Iraq, cradle of the ancient civilizations of Assyria, Babylon, Nineveh and Ur. Steeped in history, it is one of the most significant regions of the world. Muslims conquered Iraq at the time of Umar bin al-Khattab. It became one of the most important Muslim lands, from where large Islamic conquests began. Some of the greatest battles of Islam took place on its soil, like Qadisiyah and Madain. And it was home to many great cities, like Basra, Kufa and Baghdad. The two rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates, cross its land, making its wide plains some of the most fertile and productive lands in the world. Later, its distinctive geographic location at the head of the Gulf meant it was a vital route connecting Europe with the Indian Ocean. Its importance increased after the discovery of oil at the beginning of the 20th century. Iraq as a nation-state was established in 1921 after being part of the Uthmani Khilafah. The British and French occupied much of the Arab world in the First World War and sought to consolidate their power over the captured lands. In 1916, the Sykes-Picot Agreement, forged from this Anglo-French alliance, allocated what became Syria and Lebanon to the French and what became Iraq and Transjordan to the British. The League of Nations, a precursor to the United Nations and established by the Western victors of the war, quickly validated in international law British control over Iraq in the form of a British mandate. The Arabs, for their part, were largely unaware of the colonial designs that the Anglo-French alliance had over their lands. Indeed, misguided though it may have been, their participation in the Arab revolt against the Uthmani Khilafah in 1915 was a revolt to gain Arab independence and self-rule, not to exchange the rule from Istanbul for rule from Paris and London. The British encouraged the Arabs to revolt with a set of vague promises of independence that the Arabs believed, though the British had no intention of honouring these promises. However, the Anglo-French occupation of the Muslim lands did not sit well with the Arab masses. They had been comfortable under the rule of Islam for over 1,000 years and had only recently fermented Arab nationalism and a desire for independence from the Uthmanis over the last 50 years. However, they were naive to capitalist colonialist foreign policy and expected the colonizers to keep their word. When they did not, there were rebellions and insurgencies throughout the Arab world, including Iraq, so it became necessary for the occupiers to set up an image of independence across the Arab world in order to avoid continued turmoil.